parents. Today video is about lesson 4, session 2, what we did today. We still work with equal groups on today, and we also work with arrays, but today we did something a little extra called tiling. And tiling is when we do the rectangles with the squares on the inside. But I am going to go ahead and go through the homework with you so that if you have any questions, then you can see how everything was supposed to be solved today. So looking at page 99, number 1, so it says, use the picture below to answer problems 1 through 4. Well, this is the drawing. This is the 3 leaves, and then you have the 4 ladybugs on each leaf. So number 1 says, how many equal groups are there? So we're looking at the groups. The groups are the leaves. So if I look at this, I can say this is one group. This is 2 groups. And this is 3 groups. Okay, so that means the questions add how many groups, equal groups are there? That means the answer will be there are 3 equal groups. Okay, I know some kids today in the class, they did get some got started on their homework ahead of time, and they put the number 3, that's fine. If they just put 3, that's fine, because I know they mean 3 equal groups. Okay, so number 2 says, how many ladybugs are in each group? So they want to know inside of each group, inside of this group, inside of that group, inside of this group. They want to know inside of each group, how many ladybugs are there? So inside of this group right here, I have 4. I'll put the number 4. Inside of this one, I have 4. Inside of this one, I have 4. So inside of each group, there are 4 ladybugs. So that is what I'm going to put. There are 4 in each group. Okay? So now the thing is, when you're doing equal groups, the reason why we call them equal group is because the groups need to have the same amount. If they don't have the same amount, they cannot be called equal groups, and we cannot use that as a multiplication equation. So every group has to have the same amount. So if we go to number 3, it says, how many ladybugs are there all together? So all together means everything together. So now we're going to count everything together. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So all together, there are 12 ladybugs. So altogether, there are 12 ladybugs. So when we get to number 4 wants us to write a multiplication equation that matches the picture. So this is the picture, and we're going to write a multiplication equation. Now, I told the kids that when you're writing a multiplication equation and you're looking at the equal groups, the first number in your multiplication sentence will always be the groups, how many groups you have. Then I told them that the second number in your multiplication sentence is going to be the size of each group. How much is inside of each group? Then I told them the last number in your multiplication sentence is going to be the total, or the product of each group. So when I know what each one of these numbers mean, I can easily look at my pictures and be able to know what goes on what. So if I know the first number is going to be my groups, well, I just look at my drawing and see how many groups. We already labeled it. We have 1 group, 2 groups, 3 groups. So that means on my line, I have 3 groups. So the first number in my multiplication sentence is going to be 3. Now, when I go to the next line, it is the size of each group. So this one had 4, this one had 4, this one had 4. So each group had 4. So 4 is going to be my next number. Now, the last number is the total that we have in all. So when I counted everything I had in all, we had 12. So the total is 12. So the multiplication sentence that you're going to write that goes with this picture is 3 times 4 equals 12. That is how you would do numbers 1 through 4. Now we're going to go to the back side of the page, which is page 100. Okay, so this is page 100. So this is number 5. This is my drawing. I tried to draw my best, parents, so just bear with me. But this is supposed to be the basketball rack that is on number 5. So it says, use the picture at the right to solve the problems 5 through 7. So that means this picture is going to be for problem 5, problem 6, and problem 7. So all that goes together. So number 5 says, the basketball court has 3 shelves. Okay, so these are going to be your 3 shelves. This is the first shelf at the top, so I'll put number 1. The second shelf is the middle one, so this is the second shelf, number 2. And then the third shelf is the bottom shelf right there, so that's the third shelf. Okay, let's continue reading. It says there is already 1 basketball on each shelf. That is true. On each shelf, on shelf 1, this is 1 basketball that's already there. Shelf 2 has 1 basketball that's already there. And shelf 3 has 1 basketball that is already there. Okay? So far, everything is exactly the way they said it. I like the kids to go sentence by sentence and look at everything they're saying. So now let's go to the next sentence. It says, draw the rest of the basketballs to create an array. So now we're making an array. When we talk about an array is with rows and columns. Rows and columns. Okay? So let's go ahead and look at that. Okay, so I have 3 times 5 is the expression they want me to use. So I'm going to put that expression up here. 3 times 5. So when you are looking at an array, the first number in the multiplication expression is going to be the rows. I know when we did the groups on page 99, the first number was the groups. Well, when you do an array, the first number is going to be your rows. So I'm going to label that as rows. And I'm going to do it in a different color so it'll stand out. This is rows. The second number is going to be how many columns are in your row. So that means my array should be 3 rows with 5 columns. Or we could say 3 rows with 5 in each row. So if I look at this, they want me to make my drawing, the basketball rack, match the multiplication expression. So far, I do have 3 rows because we labeled it on the side. 1, 2, 3. So this part is correct. I'm just going to put a little check that tells me, okay, that part is good. I'm going to go to the next number, which is the 5. Okay, so that means I need to have 5 in each row. Well, this row only has 4. Well, that means I need to add 4 more. So let's add 4 more. This is 1, okay. This is 2, 3, 4, 5. So I added 4 more with this 1 that gave me 5. Just like my number said, I had to have 5. Okay, so now I go to the next row, and I'm going to make sure that row has 5 as well. So that means I need to add 4 more to this one. Okay, now I'm going to go to the third row and add 4 more to that one, because with an array, every row has to have the same amount. Again, with multiplication, everything has to be equal. So 4 more. All right, so I have added all 4 to each row. Now each row has 5, just like the multiplication expression said that I needed to have 5. So I'm going to put a check there. I've done exactly what they said. Okay, so I have finished number 5 because I finished the drawing. This is what the drawing is going to look like now. Let's go to number 6. Number 6 says, look at your picture of basketballs on the card. So now they want us to look at the picture we just finished. Okay, how many rows are in the array? So they want to know how many rows. Well, we already know how many rows because you remember we labeled them. We labeled them 1, 2, 3. So that means we have 3 rows. So the answer for that one is going to be 3. Okay, let's go to the next question on number 6. How many basketballs are in each row? Okay, well, let's look at each row. How many do I have in each row? This row has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, let me look at this one. Row 2. It has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, let's look at row 3. It has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So in each row, I have 5 basketballs. So the answer is going to be 5. Okay, let's go to the next question on number 6. It says, how many basketballs are on the cart? Now they want to know how many are on the cart. So this whole thing is the cart. So they want to know what's the total of all the basketballs on the cart. Well, we can do that by counting. I told the kids in class the best way to count so you know exactly what you have is to write the number on your items. So that's what I'm going to do. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So I now know that I have 15 all together on my cart. So the answer is 15. I have 15 basketballs on my card, and I'm going to put that in a different color so that it stands out. 15. All right, but we're not done because remember the directions said that we have to solve problems 5, 6, and 7 with this basketball card. So let's go to 7. 7 says, fill in the blanks to represent the array of basketballs with a multiplication equation. So, just like we did with the equal groups on page 99, Ms. Newman likes to go in and label each line so that I know exactly what numbers where to put. So when you are looking at an array, just like I did over here, the first number in your multiplication equation is going to be your rows. So I'm going to put rows. The second number in your multiplication equation is going to be your columns. So I'm going to put columns. And the last number is going to be my total on my product. All right, so now I know what each line stands for. It's easier for me to go ahead and put the numbers where they go. So when I go back to my drawing, I know the first number is supposed to be the rows. Well, if I look at the drawing, I had 1, 2, 3 rows. So that means on that line, I'm going to put the number 3. Okay, let's go to the columns. Okay, so if I look at my columns, I can see how many columns I have. This is, remember, columns go up and down. This is one column, 2 columns, 3 columns, 4 columns, 5 columns. So the next number is going to be 5. Now the last number is my total. It's going to tell me what 3 times 5 equals. So we know what the total is because you remember we already went in and labeled each ball with the number. And we had a total of 15 balls. So the total here is going to be 15. All right, now that is complete. So we